So let me give you a really quick and simple introduction as to how to get started using Lightroom. It's Stephen here at iPhotography. Thanks so much for joining me. So I've got Lightroom open here on screen. So effectively what I'm going to do is just walk you through a very basic process of getting your images into the software, being able to understand how to select and highlight your images. Because if you're like me, let's say for example, I'm going to bring a folder up on screen here. These are images that I've got from a shoot. There's absolutely loads of them there. So all I'm going to simply do is try and open them all into Lightroom. So I'm going to select them all, just deselect a couple of other folders that I don't need in there, and I'm going to drag them in. Now, there is other ways of doing that. There is an import button on the initial library scene where you can kind of press that and then you can go through all your file menus, but in truth, as I said, I just find it easier just to do it a drop and drag. Now from there we can see that all the images within that folder are selected there. They've all got little ticks. We can deselect them if we wanted to, but it's just as easy, I find anyway, because I want to edit them all, or at least have a look at them all anyway, is to bring them in there. Now if you think you've got images in there that are kind of duplicated, you can tick these buttons here, so that stops them being put in there. So again, I can go through them one by one, choose my favorites, and I can choose my favorites, like I said before, doing it a couple of different ways. Now I can choose them based upon different star ratings. I can kind of add these little filter flags if I wanted to. You can add color assignments. It's up to you as to kind of what you prefer. Personally, I do like to try and use the stars. I think that's a bit easier because I would not always say that some images are definite, some ones that are absolute no's. There's sometimes a bit of a grey area in between, which I think the star ratings kind of give me that little bit of latitude. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose an image. I think potentially, yeah, let's start off with this one here. Do I like that one a bit more? Actually, I prefer the slight kind of turn of head there anyway. Right, okay, now if I want to assign a star rating, because I quite like to kind of play around with the star ratings a little bit more, I think it's said they're a bit more flexible. I can either, now you can do this on a keyboard, you can otherwise right click. So if you right click, you've got the options here about the setting the flags, whether you want to choose it as flag, unflagged or rejected. That's just another way of doing it. The star ratings give you a little bit more choice. Obviously you can go from none to 5, and then you've got your color labels, but I'm going to go from the ratings here. I'm going to choose this as a 5-star, and you can see the little stars are put in the bottom. Now if you do have a keyboard, you can otherwise just simply use the numbers on your keyboard. If I press 3, if I press 4, if I press 5, you see those stars change, okay? I'm just going to show you a couple of other examples here. I'm going to put a 4 on that one. I'm going to choose that one and say 5. Maybe choose this one and choose 5 there. Maybe choose that one as a 4. Now, how that makes it a little bit easier, once I've gone through my images and maybe assigned some stars to the images that I'd like to keep, then I can come back to the little bar that is just above our timeline here, and then I can choose 4 stars or 5 stars, knowing that obviously I've assigned 4 or 5 stars to different images, and then I can filter what's on my film strip to just those images. So if I go to 5 stars, you see now all the other images disappear, and just the 5-star ones that I selected now appear. It makes it so much cleaner and easier, especially because there's less images. I can now jump to all the ones that I know are sharp, the ones that I like, the compositions, etc., and I can go on to play around with them. If I want to then have a look at the 4-star images, I've got that there, okay? So you can see it's got all the 5 stars and it's got the 4 stars, okay? So it just gives you that little bit more clarity. You know, you can go back and kind of choose them as many times over, and it works in the exact same way as the colors, okay? So if we go back here, maybe if we assign colors instead, if we go to a color label, let's say a red there. Now this may find it a little bit easier because you can actually see the border around the image there. Let's choose another one, color label, let's go to yellow. Okay, so we've got reds and yellows. Now if we go back to our timeline strip here, if we press red, it'll filter everything that's been selected by red. Very easy. We can go to yellow, you can do it that way. So it works in a very similar way as to the stars. It's really quick and simple, but then once you've narrowed down your images, say you've got all your 5-star shots, that's when you can go on to start and do your edit. But I think it's just a very simple workflow to follow for beginners. If you're just getting into Lightroom, it's a very simple way of dragging your images in. I say if you've got that assisted culling option, you can certainly by all means use it to help you narrow down anyway. But if you do like to be a little bit more old school and just go through things manually and kind of inspect your images bit by bit and not so much rely on AI, even though it's not too bad, then this is another way of doing it. But if you want to know a little bit more about how to use Lightroom, we've got a full, fantastic, amazing Lightroom course presented by Emily Lowry that you do need to check out. It's going to give you the full A to Z, not just the bits that I've covered, but tons more of it as well, and all the other tools and features. So go and check that out on iPhotography.com. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.